Hey guys, Joel's coming at you with another reasoning sesh where I challenge the status quo of the wisdom of the world and the church by diving deep into the ancient scriptures, uncovering those meanings glossed over by translations and traditions, really cutting to the core of the metaphysical aspects of these ancient texts and applying them practically to situations in our present day so that we can step up and manifest the life that we know we've come to live, that Earth 2.0. That's free from all of the manipulation and control and fear-mongering that these bloodlines have imposed upon humanity for generations. And today, I'm going to be talking about how when we want something, we mustn't overshoot our manifestability. How to watch that our egos don't get ahead of us and make promises that we don't even know how we're going to keep in the long run.
Come now and let us reason together. Come now, we can talk it over.
But before I begin, I gotta say, if you like these videos, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more, and stay tuned. Really build that foundation so that you have a leg to stand on once this new world really starts to accelerate forward and we find ourselves living in a new paradigm, manifesting new potentials, and literally connecting with impossibilities like never before. And today I'm going to be reading about the story of Shophtim, who was one of the judges of Israel before they actually appointed kings to rule them. And I'm just going to read a bit of backstory from the text here. This is from the 11th chapter of the Shophtim, or the Judges. And it says, "Now Jephthah the Gileadite was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of a harlot. And Gilead begat Jephthah. And Gilead's wife bare him sons, and his wife's sons grew up, and they thrust out Jephthah, and said unto him, You shall not inherit in our father's house, for you are the son of a strange woman." So Jephthah was basically an outcast from the time he was little in his own family. But Source can use you no matter how much of an outcast you are in society. You know, it's just like Yahweh told the prophet Samuel when he went to anoint David, and he thought David's brothers were actually going to be the king. He was told that Yahweh sees not as man sees, for man looks on the outward appearance, but Yahweh looks on the heart. Then Jephthah fled from his brethren and dwelt in the land of Tob, and there were gathered vain men to Jephthah, and went out with him. So Jephthah was this man whom Yahweh used because in that time, the children of Ammon made war against Israel. So after a bit of back and forth, Jephthah actually leads the people in war against the children of Ammon. And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said, If you shall without fail deliver the children of Ammon into mine hand, then it shall be that whatsoever comes forth of the doors of my house to meet me, when I return in peace from the children of Ammon, shall surely be Yahweh's, and I will offer it up for a burnt offering. Now that's a pretty serious promise, and even just thinking about it, it's like when someone comes home, are the cattle going to be the first one to actually walk out of the house and greet him? Or is it going to be one of his own family members? Like, you got to use some reason when you're actually reading this text. And you got to think, like, he really wanted this victory so bad that he overshot his mouth. And Source was probably just like, why did you say that?
Why'd you say that, Chief? Come on, man, don't let your mouth write a check your butt can't cash.
But nonetheless, he did that anyway. And many times we think that what we want is such an impossibility that we're willing to lay it all on the line. And we're like, Source, if you give this to me, then yada, yada, yada. I'm going to be a missionary to China or whatever it is, you know? And then when the prayer is actually answered, you're just like... But anyway, long story short, Jephthah passed over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and Yahweh delivered them into his hands. And Jephthah came to Mizpah unto his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dances, and she was his only child. Beside her, he had neither son nor daughter. And you can just see that this was a recipe for disaster. But he made a vow to Yahweh, so what? He had to keep it. And it came to pass when he saw her that he rent his clothes and said, Alas, my daughter, you have brought me very low, and you are one of them that trouble me, for I have opened my mouth unto Yahweh, and I cannot go back. So even he understood that seed and harvest, and he planted the seed of a promised sacrifice, but now it's on him to really stick by his word. And he knows that if he doesn't stick by his word, that seed will be sown, and that victory that was promised to him will actually be reversed as the second phase of the harvest. And the difference between Jephthah offering his daughter as a sacrifice and other people in the Canaanite cultures offering their children as sacrifices was that they were doing it for victory. Jephthah's case was that he vowed for a victory, he got the victory, and now he had to keep his end of the bargain. And that's a really heavy lesson, because we got to realize that Source is infinite, and we can't give Source anything back for what Source gives us. Everything that we have is physical anyway. And when we ask for something, that too is on the physical realm. But Source is above that. And all we can give Source really is our devotion, is ourselves. We have to walk in that kind of alignment and then manifest that potential in the physical world. That is the real sacrifice. Like Paul wrote to his epistle to the church at Rome, he said, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. Okay, so we're supposed to present ourselves as a living sacrifice, meaning we're not going to kill ourselves, but we're going to be in that service to the higher power. And how do we do that? He says, be not conformed to this world. Don't be subject to that kind of programming, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. Again, it's a battle for the mind. Whatever your thoughts are, whatever state of being you have, that is what's going to manifest. And that's literally either going to create the kingdom of heaven or divert this world from experiencing the kingdom of heaven. Because once you renew your mind, you prove what is the good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The three stages: it's good, then it's acceptable, meaning it's actually beneficial, and then it's perfect, meaning it's that whole blueprint coming into completion. And we see the transcendent plan that was meant for us to experience since the very beginning. So don't try and overstep your perspective. Don't try to reason with Source from the limits of your own ego. Really know that Source is beyond that, and just keep your promises limited to, I'm going to do this to the best of my ability, and that's it. Like Yeshua also says, don't swear at all, neither by heaven, for it is God's throne, nor by the earth, for it is his footstool, neither by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. Neither shall you swear by your head, because you can't even make one hair white or black. Let your yes be yes, and your no, no. Anything else is from the kingdom of darkness. We got to really step beyond that limit, the paradigm that has been blinded by physical circumstances, and really know that Source can give it to us no matter what we promise to give back. So let's just give back ourselves, because life comes from Source anyway. Let's not promise material things. Let's not try and figure things out as a bargain with Source. And let's just move from that state of inner awareness where all things come together, all things flow in harmony, all things are manifest unto the end that is the perfection of this eternal blueprint. And we will see this reality unfold right before our very eyes. So shake those shackles off, break through those barriers, and really step into the real essence of what Source has destined for you to live out in this time, because you were born for such a time as this, and we are all here for a reason to actually bring together those pieces of the puzzle to fit together that bigger picture of the utopia we all deserve. We don't deserve anything less, so send forth that intention now. Really seize upon it and know that Source has got this. So with that being said, I'm going to sign out here. I'll check you in a future reasoning sesh. I love you guys. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Agape, Salaam, Namaste, Shalom.